What's going on, sneaker fan? It's Heat Kicks. I got a little something different to talk to you guys about today. One of the number one questions that I'm always asked is how do you maintain your sneakers and how do you keep them clean? How is it that every time I see you wearing something, your shoes are always pristine? Is it just a new pair of shoes that you have on your feet every time we see you? Do you just get new pairs of sneakers every week or every other day? Well, yes and no. So I do pick up a lot of sneakers. Of course, as you guys know, I am a sneakerhead, so I am always picking up the newest, latest, and greatest sneaker because I love sneakers. But that's not the whole story. So a lot of times I have sneakers that I wear every week or every day, or sometimes I'll wear them for a couple weeks and then kind of rest them and then put something else on. But there's a lot of things that you guys can do to maintain, clean, prepare your sneakers so that you can wear a pair of sneakers for a long period of time and keep them close to the quality that they were when you got them, or at least keep them in a much better quality than they would be in if you just kind of let them go, ran through the mud, trashed them, didn't take care of them, so on and so forth. So the first thing is kind of watching where you walk and then making sure you keep your sneakers clean, right? So if you go run through mud and you're, running through the trails and all that stuff, you're gonna get your sneakers really dirty. So you have to think, what am I gonna be doing today? Do I wanna wear a pair of runners? Do I wanna wear that pair of $60 sneakers, just that run-of-the-mill Nike that I got, and go run that into the brush? Or do I wanna throw on one of my $400 pairs of LeBrons or Jordans, one of those top collabs or NMDs or Yeezys, right? Do I want to take those and go run through the mud? Me personally, no, I don't. I know a lot of guys do the videos, they show for Crep Protect and different cleaning supplies, and we'll get to that here soon. They show different videos about how you can clean them and stuff, but the number one thing that you can do to protect your sneakers is just protect your sneakers. Make sure that when you're walking, you're not walking in the mud, you're not walking in the water. A lot of times I'll make sure that I'm not walking super close to anyone else, so that they can't step on my shoe or scuff my shoe, or you know what I mean? Just simple things like that can keep you out of trouble when it comes to taking care of your sneakers and maintaining your sneakers. Another big thing that gets a lot of people is eating food and drinking drinks. It's typical, right? So you're sitting there, you're eating, you're drinking, and as you're doing that, you're kind of leaning over and everything's falling straight down to the ground, either hitting your shirt or going right onto your shoes, right? So one important thing that I can say is try not to eat or drink while standing. Try to do it at a table. Try to do it where you're not going to be dripping that stuff on your sneakers. So the next thing I want to talk about is actually going along the same lines. This is called Crep Protect, and this is a protective spray. Now, I'm not advertising for Crep Protect. I'm not paid by Crep Protect, but I do particularly like Crep Protect and use this on all my sneakers. Reshoevn8r makes their own line. Jason Markk makes their own version, but basically a sneaker protectant that goes on top of the sneaker that makes it not waterproof, but water resistant, stain resistant, is really good for all white sneakers and sneakers that you think you might get it, you might be getting a little bit dirtier in. So a lot of people say to me, oh, well, I can protect my sneakers, but Heat Kicks, they're already dirty. And I was like, well, I got something else for you. The next part of that, and I'm pretty sure I grabbed the bottle, is also from Crep Protect, and it's called Crep Cure. So you have the Crep cleaning kit, you have Crep Cure, which is basically a sneaker soap. You get yourself a little dish, you have the Crep Cure solution, and then inside the little pouch you get, I think it's like $20, and it comes with the whole kit. And this one's set up a little differently, so I'm not going to show you the contents because they are a little bit different. They are set up to my liking, but I will show you what comes initially, and then I'll show you what comes with it after. So basically, you're going to get this Crep Cure solution, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so you guys can see that, and that's by Crep Protect. And then you're going to get a fiber brush, a soft bristle brush. Now this is very important. Soft bristle can basically be used on anything that's got any type of material, so leather, suede, prime knits and things of that nature. When you get into the more firm bristles or the metal bristles, I would stay away from them because they can actually damage prime knit, they can damage leather. Now those more firm brushes, they do have their use. They're really good for the outsole where it's really rough rubber, where you can kind of get in there and you can scrub harder, where you have deeper stains, deeper mud, and it can get into those grooves. And basically no matter what brush you're using, you're going to be using it with warm water, not hot, not cold, but warm water or cold water, not hot. They specifically say not hot water, and your solution. So first thing is basically just making sure you're taking care of your shoes while you're out and about. Making sure you're not dropping stuff on them, making sure you're not running through the mud, making sure you're not doing stuff that's just not necessary. Now, yes, there are circumstances, there are times that you're gonna be in the woods, you're gonna be, what if you're running triathlons, or you're doing stuff out in the trails, or you're going camping? That's fine, but dress appropriately and bring the sneakers with you that that are not that expensive, that you could get dirty, that you may be able to just throw away at the end of your trip, or what have you. Those are your beaters, as we would call them, right? So first thing is just kind of keeping an eye out for your own shoes. Then if they get dirty, a deep scrub with Crep or Rejuvenator with a soft bristle brush. And then another thing that I want to talk about that's really important, this is another soft bristle brush that came with another kit, but this is actually a suede brush. Now the difference between a soft bristle brush and a suede brush is one is for cleaning and one is for re-napping your suede on your shoes. So when we just talked about cleaning, something that's really important is that suede is not meant to be wet. So when you're going to clean suede materials, you're actually going to want to use a suede brush and a suede eraser. There's several different brands that make it. This one I think comes from Crep Protect. It's got a rough end, it kind of has like a sandpaper texture, and then a regular side. And then I also use Mint, which I think might be a Foot Locker brand, also makes a really good eraser as well. And then built into the case, they kind of have, that brush to bring back the nap. But I honestly wouldn't recommend this. I would go ahead and get your nap rejuvenating brush. And so basically what you're gonna do is if you have any type of sneaker that has suede, these are prime knit, these don't, but if you have any type of suede, you basically wanna take that brush and you wanna just, like a regular eraser, you wanna just go ahead and keep going over that part on the suede to erase that, and then you wanna brush them off, brush, one direction. You wanna go along the suede. So whichever way the suede is going, you'll be able to tell by the way the pattern is. You want to go along the grain of the suede, and then you brush. And then when you take it off, you brush. This will bring your nap back to life. Now, another thing this is really important for, there are some circumstances, and this is debatable, but this is a fact. It's not good to clean suede sneakers with water, but in certain circumstances, when a suede sneaker is just completely, deeply dirty, and it's deep into the materials, and the suede eraser is just kind of moving the dirt around, and it's just making it look murky and just not good, you can wash suede sneakers with a wet solution. But here's the key. First, you want to make sure that you have that suede brush. You want to go through and get all the heavy stuff out with your suede eraser, go all over the shoe and get all the really heavy stuff out of the shoe. And then you want to take your mixture of soap and water, and you basically want to use that soft bristle brush that I spoke about, and you just want to lightly, you're not scrubbing now like on the prime knit and the leather, you can scrub. This, you just kind of want to lightly lather it on, and you want to use just enough moisture with the water and the soap just to barely get it wet, and then kind of lightly rub that, and then let that sit for 15 minutes. And then you're gonna go ahead and take your microfiber cloth. Once again, all the companies make it. It's a microfiber cloth, and it's got really small fibers. Got a little bit of dust on it here, but it's got really small fibers, and what that does is it actually seeps into the material with the soap and pulls all that nasty dirt and stuff out of the sneaker. But the key part about that, like I said, and I just dropped it, is the suede brush. Because what's going to happen after you wet that shoe, it will turn almost like ceramic. It gets really hard, and that's where a lot of people say that the shoe is destroyed or it's ruined, and that's because they just really don't know what they're doing. So if you've never cleaned a suede shoe this way, I would say definitely do some research, definitely watch some videos and tutorials on how to do it really good. I will put one together soon, but I would heed caution if you have not done this before. Definitely be careful. For suedes, stick with the eraser unless you know what you're doing. And then what I will do is later on I will do a video for deep cleaning suede materials with a moist solution. I had a buddy that basically went to a rave. He went to, I think, Electric Zoo in New York City, and his shoes were completely just destroyed, covered in mud, caked on mud. So I took them outside, I sprayed them down with a hose, got all that heavy stuff out. Then I let them dry. Then the stuff that was a little bit deeper, I got out with the suede eraser. Then I let it, completely dry out. And then I took that solution and I just kind of lightly put it on there. I let it sit for about 15 minutes, and I was able to almost bring his shoes back to complete restoration, completely new. So there are a lot of different ways to clean. So like we said, let's go back. Number one, making sure that you're taking care of your shoes while they're on your feet. Number two, having a good spray that you can put on it, a preventative spray, like we talked about, the Crep Protect. Again, here you guys go so you can see it, to protect the shoe just in case you do have an accident and drop something on it. Then we have the Crep Cure that I showed you that you can use to clean the shoes. You have the soft bristle brush, you have the suede brush, and the eraser for the suede shoes. And then last but not least, scent. So a lot of you guys are gonna have shoes that you're wearing all day. They're gonna smell, they're gonna be funky. So what I recommend is every time I'm done wearing a shoe, I throw these in there. Now, Crep Protect makes a Crep Protect pill. It's not the greatest. I'm not even sure what brand makes these, but you guys, I'm sure, have seen them before. They're the little scented balls, and honestly, I think they're like, you get 6 of them for like $3, and they're phenomenal. You just throw them right in the shoe, and you leave them. Now, the other thing that I get from Foot Locker is called Fresh Fogger. And once again, this is not an advertisement. You can go ahead and use any brand's version of this. And this is basically just a scented spray. But the problem with that is it's just a scented spray. It says deodorizer, but it doesn't have antibacterial or antimicrobial properties to it. So it's basically just gonna mask the smell and not really help to get rid of the smell. Now, this would be something that you would just spray on the inside of the shoe. Then they have another type of product that actually, now this one's called just shoe deodorizer. Now, you wanna look for deodorizer, you wanna look for antibacterial, antimicrobial. This is not only gonna smell good, it smells really good, and I would actually recommend this brand myself. But not only does it smell good, but it actually goes in and kills that bacteria and prevents it from growing back. And so long term, this is gonna be something that's gonna help, with the smell of your shoes and help get that funk out of them. So what I usually do is once a week, I'll go ahead and spray both the inside and the outside of the shoe. Outside being if it's prime knit, if it's leather, just, regular shoes with leather, stuff that doesn't really breathe, just the inside of the shoe. But with prime knit, this particular shoe deodorizer, I'll spray on the inside and on the outside. And then every day after wear, I just do the scented one. So the deodorizer once a week, and then just the regular scented one every day. Now, there's other things that you guys can do that are preventative as well. They actually have foot deodorizer that's made by Dr. Scholl's, and it's actually for frequent sneaker wearers. It's not for like athlete's foot or anything like that, but it's basically a protectant barrier that you spray on your foot. I'm not sure the name of it, but it's from Dr. Scholl's, and it's almost like a deodorant for your feet, and it prevents your feet from sweating inside the socks. So obviously if there's less sweat, there's less moisture, there's less bacteria, there's less smell. You know, so all these steps that you take are steps that are preventing you from destroying your shoes or just kind of keeping your shoes and having them last for a long time. So I mean, I've got hundreds of pairs of shoes, and the reason that I never get rid of any of them because I never get to the point to where a shoe is completely that destroyed, that dirty, or smells that bad that I just can't stand it. Usually what happens is it gets to the point to where it's just an old school grail, and you'll start to notice if it's from the 80s or early 90s, the sole will start to come off or materials will start to break down over time. But that's something that's natural, and honestly I think that's something that's kind of cool because it shows our history, it shows the heritage of where sneakers came from and everything. But for the everyday regular stuff, take care of your shoes, deodorize your shoes. You have those little packs that you can put inside the shoes when you're not wearing them. Definitely watch where you're walking. You know, think cognitively, think, what am I doing? Where am I walking with these shoes? Try to stay away from high traffic areas where other people may drop things on your shoes. And then one last thing that I want to mention is as far as creasing goes, there's creasing and preventative maintenance on the other end of the spectrum. You have these crease protectors, and I'm not sure the brand, I think these are called shoe shields or sneaker shields, and basically all this does is slip into the shoe down by the toe box and prevents the sneaker from creasing where people hate to get those creases. And as you can see, they come in 3 different models. They come in a solid one, they come in a sport one that has that deodorizer in it, which if you have issues with that with your sneakers, you could get the sport one, which comes in a green color and that has the deodorizer. But this one's perfect because it prevents the creases. You can basically, I mean, you can only wear one shoe at a time, so you can basically have just one pair of these. It's one size, universal, fits all, and whatever shoe you're wearing that day, you can go ahead and throw these in, and it's gonna go a long way as far as protecting from damaging and creasing the toe box. And the last thing I'll leave with you guys, I've not used these before, but I am a little bit interested in checking them out. They also have those sole protectors that you can place on the bottom, and then you can use the hair dryer or a heat gun to kind of apply that to the bottom of the sole. So for your grails, for shoes that you may only wear once a year or once every 5 years, or for celebrations, your crazy LeBrons, your Kaws, your shattered backboards, those types of sneakers that you want to wear and you don't want to mess up the sole, they sell something called sole protectors. And as again, like I said, there's several brands that make a similar product. From what I've heard, sole protectors is the best of the 3 that I have done research on, and what that will do is help prevent some dirtying and some wear and tear off the bottom of the sneakers. So anyways, I guess the moral of the story is take care of and maintain your sneakers. They're gonna last longer, they're gonna smell better, and you're gonna save a ton of money. And by the way, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and smash that notification bell so you guys can get all my videos on demand. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. It's Heat Kicks. I'm out.